case, and I really was hoping that his sister would be here today to speak to it, but I want to mention it. I don't have all the details, but I think it's important that we not forget that there's a lot of violence that goes on within the criminal justice system, and it's not just the violence that you see upon somebody's arrest or apprehension. Sometimes the cops get kind of rough when they have to arrest someone, and then sometimes the cops basically just abuse people when they go through the process. You're already arrested, you're already handcuffed, and they beat you up and they beat you down. Sometimes you die. We know about this situation. We know what happened to Johnny Gamage. He was strangled to death. Okay. But then there's violence and abuse that continues throughout the criminal justice process, even after you've been arrested, even after you've been prosecuted, even after you've been incarcerated. And that's what I'd like to mention before we disperse for the day. There's a young man by the name of John Carter who was locked up in the penitentiary. And he had been locked up in solitary confinement for how many years, Amanda?
I don't know.
Well, he had been locked up for several years in solitary confinement. And from what I've read and from what I've heard, he was the type of person who was an advocate for justice and an advocate for prisoners' rights. And he would file petitions. And he would speak out against the prison officials. He would stand up against the prison administration. And so they subsequently kept him locked up in solitary confinement. And then there was an incident several weeks ago where they tried to get him to come out of his cell, and he didn't hit them. They basically tear gassed him and sprayed him in his cell. And he choked to death. Well, he died. So here's a young man who's dead. Not killed in the process of trying to do harm to someone else. Not killed because the cops are trying to apprehend him. Not killed